What's going on, beautiful world? It's your boy Alex Acosta, and we're here with another fun, quick, and easy tutorial inside of Vegas. I've been directing, shooting, and editing music videos close to 15 years now. Hip hop, R&B, gospel, country music, you name it. But within all those genres, there's different tempos, different pace, and different directions. So when you edit, it's just not as simple as you go on a timeline, you slice up the video how you feel, and it goes. At times, it could be way more intricate than that. Inside of Vegas 22, there's this new feature called beat detection. Essentially, it analyzes all your audio, plays with the low, the mid, and the high frequencies. Once it analyzes all the data, it creates a marker called a hit point. But let's jump inside and show you how it works. Okay, so we're inside of a timeline of a music video I shot. This artist, her name is Paris France, and we shot this video out in California in the desert, Joshua's Tree. See, we got the camels, got a nice couple dancers out. Pretty nice video, beautiful day. But let's jump into this beat detection and figure out how it works. Now, what I'm gonna do is click the audio track, and when you right click, what you're gonna do is look for beat detection. As you hit it, you see the top right here is going to analyze. Now let's talk about this box right here, sensitivity. As you see, we see a few markers that popped up in the trimmer window, but pay attention to when I go low, a lower number, you see more markers come up, and if I go higher, less markers come up. Essentially, what that's letting you know, your sensitivity, how much detection do you want it to hear? If you want it to hit every single snare, every single drum, every single beat pattern, any kind of noise that's gonna, again, low, mid, high frequencies, it's gonna hit. So your sensitivity level, every song is gonna be different, every tempo is different. So you gotta find your sweet spot. By default, it always starts at 25%. 25 is a good start point just to see what you can get from there. Now at the moment, I'm gonna hit okay. Now these markers represent where it picks up a hit pattern. It could be, again, a drum. It could be a piano. It could be a guitar. It's essentially telling me right here, we're determining based off the sensitivity level, this is a possible selection of a beat that you can make a transition, or we just recognize something happens here. So I'm just gonna hit play really quick. At the moment, I see it. Okay, at the moment it is picking up some bass patterns, and it's also picking up the flute. The flute also has a little bit of bass in it, so not every single drum is hitting. I'm seeing it skipping a drum or two, and then the flute is catching. And before we go any further, let me actually jump into the timeline here so you can see the markers. Besides in the trimmer window up here, you see at the bottom of the audio, you can see the markers. Maybe it's not that visible. Let's change the color. And by the way, if you ever want to change the color, you just come over here to text display. Not text display, track display color. Let's go with teal. Let's see. Yep, this helps me a little bit more. All right, so you see the markers here. Now the cool thing about this is that if I jump back up here to the trimmer window, let's just say it gave me this placement right here, but I think it should hit a little further, a little behind that particular beat. I can move it. And as I'm moving it right now, my trimmer window, if you look at my timeline, is actually moving as well. So wherever I place that, or wherever I think it should go, that's exactly where it's gonna go on my timeline, and it's gonna be embedded in there. But let's circle back and hit Control Z just to get it back where it's at. All right, so all I did was open a new timeline and pretty much save the music video so you could just have it on one audio file and one video file. We can make it super simple and you guys can see this done in real time. And I guys want to start off with a shortcut. Let's go to the trimmer window. And again, you see everything we just seen on the previous one. But right here, if you hit these three dots and you come to edit visible buttons, these are your buttons that's already there, your loop, playback, your play, stop. All the way at the bottom is beat detection. You see I have it selected and press OK. Now it's automatically right here. So I no longer have to click it or go to beat detection. It's just a shortcut that I created. I know I'm going to be using this a lot, so for me it makes sense to add that button. Now, again, every time I'm in there, just click the button and it pops right up for me. But let's create, and let me actually address this really quick. You see I just zoomed out and you see all of these lines. Again, do not get intimidated. You don't have to do anything to this. Even if you was to save this file, it's not gonna save with those markers on it. This is just reference marks. But in this particular video, I remember that the artist only wanted an effect done towards the ending. So we picked this very last part. So all we're gonna do is focus on these very last few marks here. Again, not all these marks over here. So let's say from here, you wanted to add from these marks moving forward. And she wants the bass drum. So I'm gonna play this for at least 3-4 seconds so you can hear the bass drum. 1, 2. So throughout the last 15 seconds is those drums when it hits. So let's create an empty track and adjustment event. So at that adjustment event, remember, I know the marker is right there. So what I'm gonna do is act the adjustment event right at the marker. And let's say for here, I'm just gonna zoom in a little. Let's say zoom in. And for the next marker, I'm gonna copy and paste. Again, we're gonna do this for all the markers, so I could just copy and paste literally the whole thing. But to make it a little different, not only am I gonna add a little bit of the zoom, for this one, I'm gonna also, let's say, change the color. So let's go from color and let's change this to black and white. And actually, let's go back to the preview window. So right here, you can see it. And that one's in black and white. And let's go back to the zoom. We're gonna find the next snare, which is right here, copy and paste right over it. And I know that's gonna be a zoom, but let's also zoom and actually make this a little bit more zoomed in since they're a little further on that one. Make sure you don't cut off none of their hands. Okay, cool. That's cool. Let's do one more. Copy and paste right here. And on this one, not only am I gonna zoom, but I'm also going to flip vertical. All right, and let's see. All right, so from flip vertical, let's finish out the rest of the snares. All right, so pretty much I just rinsed and repeat, but it has made it 10 times easier with the markers already there, knowing exactly where the beat hits for me, knowing exactly where that bass hits. I no longer have to try to fight my ears to analyze what's going on. It just makes it that much more simpler to create. And again, I added some events on top, and each one of them is going to do something slightly different, but that alone right there, this might be one of the best features that Vegas released. Personally, I felt like they did this for me because this right here helps me tons. And that, my friends, is how beat detection is used inside of Vegas 22. Appreciate everybody tuning in. I appreciate everybody's time. Till next time, it's your boy, Holla. Cheer.
About your coin and your coin been adding up before any little struck the bag. Yeah, so if you're willing, tell that will to pack up. Cause it's the Bible say that thy will be done. Do not say that thy will be bums. Like I say, Esau. Open like the camel nose. Do anything for that camel toe. These chicks flying out, but didn't fly you out. Had you on the bag of no camel though. Need a goodwill, but the latest drip, that Will Ferrell. Time to dig chips a little. Will and I get me a Will Smith if I end up in the entanglement.